to go over how to set up an HTML structure for a web page. Now, the first thing you want to do is open up some sort of text edit for coding, for HTML, CSS coding. It could be Text Wrangler, what I'm using, BB Edits, or whatever that um, can produce HTML, CSS type of things. Now, let's get started. Now, up here, you're going to want to type in, well, first the less than signs and then the exclamation mark, and then type in the word doctype space HTML. And below that, we're going to bring in some more less than signs and type in HTML. And the next one we're going to want to type in is another less than HTML, but in this case, we're going to want to add the less than sign, which shows that these two are together, but you'll know what I mean. And we're going to move it down to create some space, because what we want to go in here, we're going to need space. And after that, let's see, I recommend typing in, we'll bring in the less than signs again, and then type in the word head, and below that we're going to type in the same thing but with a slash mark. And what can go in the heads can actually be the titles in this case, but the title tags have to remain on the same line. They can't really in the same line, but you know what I mean. And we're going to give some sort of name, like let's call it Nintendo, or how about video games. And the next thing that we're gonna type in will be the body tags, which that's where we're gonna put a lot of our things in. And let's see, we're gonna close the body tag up, and then make sure we have just enough space. And let's see, the next thing we're going to type in, what's going to go in between the body tags. Let's bring in, let's see, the H1 tags, which are going to be on the same line. Close it. And let's say let's just call it video games. And let's type in H2 tag as well while we're at it. So when we refresh the page, you'll know the difference. Let's see, video games, old games, H3. Let's type in these. As a matter of fact, let's switch places. Command save if you have a Mac. And let's bring this page back up. Just bring it up. Safari. As you can see here, we typed in what we wanted to for the H1 and H3 tags. You want to keep in mind that as we type in from H1 to H6, the higher the number, the smaller the text is going to be. As you can see right here, H1 video games, H2 new games, and H3 old games. Now, let's create some lists. So let's create an order list, which is going to have the less than and the OL sign, And then after that, below it, we're going to type in li, and then another li. And let's try to make this a little faster. And let's end it there. Let's see. Let's say Uncharted. Uncharted 2. Uncharted 3. No, as a matter of fact, hold on. Sorry. Sly Cooper. Sly 2. And Sly 3. Let's hit Command Save and refresh the page. As you can see right here, we created lists for the video games. And it doesn't have to be just like 3 lists. It can actually go on like all the way to 10, pass, however you like. Now, the next thing we're gonna go over the basic. It's how to bring an image in. So, that being said, let's create some space, and here's how you create it. First, type in the image. Well, img, less than an img, and then you're going to type in src equals, you want to put some quotes, and what's going to go in these quotes, it's going to be the name of the picture, but with a JPEG or PNG type of file. Before we go on to that, let's continue. You're going to want to type in alt equals quotes again, and right here goes in these quotes over here is, well, you can give it some sort of name, like just in case if it doesn't appear, we can know what it's called. So in this case, why don't I just call it, and I'm being a little random, Kirby. Let's call it Kirby, and then let's type in Kirby.jpg, still video games. Hit Command Save, and also keep in mind when you're doing this, you're going to want to make sure both your files, HTML files, is in another folder with the images that you choose. For instance, right over here, practice sheet. That's the name of the file we're working on. Well, that's the name of our folder. Over here, this is the sheet that we're working on, the HTML practice. And here's the image folder and the image that we're using. Now, since the picture is in another folder, we have to come back over here and type in images / because it's going to go into the image folder and take the image that we want. It's there. Yeah. Command Save. And if I were to go back, refresh it, bam. As you can see, we have a picture of Kirby here. And we can also change the size of the image if we wanted to. For instance, I could just say height equals maybe about 200 pixels, and the width could be I guess maybe 200 pixels again. Save, and then bam, made it smaller. So far that's pretty much the basics of typing in HTML coding, creating structure of the page. I could go on about this, but you seem to get the drift. Anyway, please visit my next videos, which will go over the next things, including CSS. Take care.